Hey guys, and a very warm welcome to Friday Fretworks. This week I wanted to take the opportunity to show you a new guitar that I appreciate for regular viewers will be aware of the fact that I've been pretty fortunate recently in the new guitar stakes. But if you watch me on YouTube alone, you will not be familiar with this guitar, just for the fact that it hasn't popped up yet. However, if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you may well have seen this popping up with increasing regularity recently. It's a guitar that I've had about a month and a half now, I guess, and at the start of April flew out to Denmark, specifically Copenhagen, which if you're not familiar with Denmark or Copenhagen is Denmark's breathtakingly beautiful, stunning capital. Just a gorgeous place in the world to pick up a custom guitar made for me by the brothers Dahlberg, Colin and Daniel Dahlberg, who go by the name Dahlberg Instruments, who, I guess to start at the start of the story, got in touch with me going back maybe about 8 months ago, dropped me an email, just having stumbled across a video of me playing, just to extend the offer of a custom built guitar. Sent me a link to their website and a very nice email just saying, look, no obligation, no pressure, no ties, just we'd love to make you a guitar. Check it out if you like what you see, get in touch. So a couple of weeks later, I finally sat down and actually worked my way through their website and was just honestly incredibly impressed, primarily for the fact that it's just two guys building these by hand in a small warehouse, well actually a massive warehouse, a very small part of a massive warehouse, as I found out when I visited in Copenhagen. And every kind of last detail of these guitars is either Colin or Daniel. It's an incredibly kind of tight-knit process, I guess, and a very cool thing about owning a guitar, which, I can physically say I know each guy that was involved in actually building this. It's a very cool thing. So over the next couple of weeks, we basically hashed out a plan, a spec list of all the kind of ideal parts or configurations that I would have on this guitar. I was pretty intent on keeping it as a single coil guitar, primarily for the fact that I've got obviously the Yamaha stuff, very much nailing the P90 and humbucker thing, and should the opportunity maybe present itself later on down the line, I could obviously stick a signature set of pickups in there. But as I said, over the course of a couple of weeks we just hashed out a plan. And they set about building me this guitar, which all culminated in a flight across to Denmark at the start of April to pick it up. Having not seen, I've seen a couple of kind of quick progress photos, but they've been pretty kind of covert in what they showed me, obviously kind of wanting to get that initial reaction, good or bad. So I'd not really seen any of it, to be honest. So, flew over to Denmark, a little bit hard in my mouth as to what I was going to find. Suffice to say, I was absolutely blown away. It's a gorgeous guitar, and as I said, the coolest thing about this for me is the fact that I now know the two guys who built this. Two lovely guys with lovely families, we met them, and just wonderful, talented people who set about building this guitar specifically for me, given the specifications that I sent across to them. I just think that's an amazing thing. So if you do want to check them out, the website link is below. As I said, it's two guys building these, two brothers, two very dedicated, cool guys, cool Danish guys, who are just banging these out to order, and it's a very cool process. So, to break down my guitar a little bit, the first thing that I was very confident in wanting was black. Much like Henry Ford, I wanted any colour as long as it was black, and I wanted it in nitro. I love the kind of nitro checking that you get on older guitars. I asked them if they could kind of look to replicate that or maybe expedite the process slightly. So I'll insert some close-up shots here. It's got some gorgeous nitro checking. It very much looks like, as well as a little bit of ralicking, light ralicking, very much looks like a guitar that is older than about 2 months old, I guess. It's a flame maple neck, which genuinely is probably the nicest flame I've ever seen on anything. I think it's just an absolutely gorgeous piece of wood. That was the one progress video Daniel did actually send me, was a video of him oiling the back of the neck, and it went from looking like a relatively plain piece of wood just to this tiger stripe gorgeousness kind of, you know, popping out of the camera lens at me. As I said, it's flame maple neck, which is just a very cool thing. It's go-to tuners, I hope I'm saying that right, and I never quite know how to say them. Pearloid tuners, which really set it off, especially against the black. Little kind of maybe nods to John Mayer's black one there, I guess. I think the tuner pegs on that guitar maybe came from one of Stevie Ray's Strats, I think, courtesy of Rene Martinez. But yeah, gorgeous tuner pegs. What else have we got? We've got a tortoiseshell 3-ply kind of wine-coloured scratch plate, I guess, which really actually surprised me how well it worked against the black. My initial thinking was maybe to go with a white pickup, or scratch plate rather, but I think it kind of really pops against the black and looks very, very cool. It's a 3-way configuration in terms of pickups, obviously 5-way selector switch, basic Strat in that respect. It's a hardtail, interestingly again. I think, to be honest, the hardtail kind of obsession or fascination recently comes from the fact that I've never really used a whammy bar on a Strat. I think the first kind of decent Strat I had was one that me and my old man knocked up from various bits that we kind of sourced or had lying about years and years ago. And we kind of set it up ourselves, really, which was fine up until the point you touched the trem, and it would instantly fly out of tune. I think it was just not the most stable in that respect. So for that reason, I never really kind of got to grips with the, you know, tremolo bar, whammy bar, whatever you want to call it, on a Strat. Not to disparage it at all. There's certain guys who absolutely nail it, Stevie Ray on Lenny, all that kind of stuff. I'm just no bloody good at it. So I thought hardtail would be an interesting thing to do, especially sonically. As I discussed even in the Gordon Smith video recently, it definitely has an impact on the guitar. What that impact is to be decided. I've noticed a lot of people chipping in saying how they thought this should affect the sound, but the more guitars I play and the more configurations and variations of guitars I play, different wood types, the more I'm just inclined to think they're just an accident of string and wood, to be honest. You can, you know, specify things down to the nth degree and legislate for all this kind of stuff and scientific research, but at the end of the day, it's going to sound how it's going to sound, and I think it's 50% science, 50% luck. So as I said, it's a hardtail. 3 single collar pickups made by a company called Lucking Pickups. I think I'm saying that right. I've been getting grips on them recently. They're very cool sounding pickups. As I said, I may stick a signature set in there in time just because it's what I'm used to, and it's obviously they've been custom designed for me. But off the top, you know, first response, they sound very cool. Anything else worth mentioning? Medium jumbo frets. It's a modern C shaped profile neck. And I think overall, to be honest, which is the most important thing, it just plays beautifully, it sounds fantastic, it feels great in my hands. It's just an incredibly well built, solid guitar that is just incredibly cool to say. I know the 2 guys who made these, or made this, and just know every part of the process that went into it was done lovingly by 2 guys who were just master craftsmen. It's just a very cool thing. So, as I said, I will put the links below. Do go check them out. They're based in Copenhagen in Denmark. And for no other reason than just check out Copenhagen, to be honest. I think you should give them a shout and pop over, because it's a cool city. It's a cool workshop they've got, and it's an even cooler country flat out. So do check them out. I've been told I talk too much, so I shall leave it there. I get on with a little bit more playing. But as ever, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do subscribe. Please do check me out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Bebo, on MySpace, on LinkedIn. And I shall see you next week for another episode of Friday Fretworks. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.